We all know that before the advent of firearms, the bow and arrow were the primary weapons on ancient battlefields, with immense lethality. The stories of ancient sharpshooters are well known to us. However, it is unimaginable that such a powerful weapon has resurfaced in Linyi, Shandong. On the evening of August 11th, shocking news suddenly emerged from a cycling group in Linyi, Shandong. Someone had injured pedestrians with a bow and arrow, and multiple people were struck. After verifying with relevant departments, the reporter confirmed the incident was true. According to eyewitnesses, the incident took place in Lishuang Town, Tancheng County, Linyi City, Shandong Province. Around 9 p.m. that night, there were not many pedestrians on the street, but a man with a bow and arrow shot at passersby, injuring several people. It turns out that the cause of the incident was that the man believed the surveillance cameras installed by a nearby repair shop infringed on his privacy, leading to dissatisfaction. He then used a bow and arrow to shoot at people coming to the shop for repairs. 2 men were hit by arrows, one injured in the waist and the other in the back, creating a horrifying scene. Additionally, vehicles were also struck by arrows, including a police car, showing complete lawlessness. Fortunately, the 2 injured men were not critically wounded and have been taken to the hospital for treatment, with no life-threatening injuries. After receiving the alarm, the police SWAT team rushed to the scene with firearms. The man involved hid at the stairway on the 2nd floor, refusing to come down, and threatened to shoot anyone who approached. However, he was eventually successfully apprehended by the police. So, what will be the outcome for this man? Since he indiscriminately shot at an unspecified group of people, this behavior is not only a criminal act but also a result crime. It is highly likely that he will be sentenced for endangering public safety by dangerous means, with a minimum sentence of 3 years. If someone is identified as seriously injured, the sentence may start from 10 years. Let's take a look at the bow in the man's hand. This is not an ordinary traditional bow or a recurve bow, which have relatively limited lethality. He used a compound bow, a bow equipped with pulleys. The pulleys can increase the draw force several times. A standard draw compound bow, when fully drawn, can have a range of up to 500 meters, with a shooting speed exceeding 100 meters per second. This kind of bow and arrow has extremely strong penetration, capable of piercing a wild boar even at 100 meters. No wonder the man dared to confront the police, as he was wielding such a powerful weapon. Many netizens have expressed doubts. Where exactly did the suspect's bow and arrow come from? From the video, it can be seen that these arrows look like those used in shooting ranges, but the arrowheads are sharper, and the bow is more powerful. On some major online shopping platforms, bows and arrows are available for sale, with prices ranging from tens to thousands of yuan, and they have different functions. Some shops even offer customization services, allowing adjustments to the bow's power and the style of the arrowheads. On these platforms, bows and arrows are usually listed as toy products, but in reality, they should be considered dangerous toys. In theory, product pages should clearly mark such items as dangerous goods, warning that they should not be aimed at people or animals. However, some shops do not provide such warnings and even offer discreet shipping services, giving criminals an opportunity to exploit. While it's understandable for bows and arrows to be considered toys, should their power have clear regulations? Should the sale of bows and arrows that could pose a life-threatening danger be prohibited? We hope that relevant departments can quickly establish standards and regulations. Online sales platforms should also take on the responsibility of supervision to prevent merchants from selling prohibited items and to avoid bows and arrows becoming tools for criminals to harm others. What do you think about this incident? Feel free to leave a comment and discuss.
直到昨天我才知道，现在的人戾气这么重。 It wasn't until yesterday that I realized how heavy the atmosphere of hostility is these days. Yesterday afternoon, I was in a hurry to pick up a package, and the parking spot happened to be at the mouth of an alley. First, I admit that I did have some faults, but at that moment, I was just going to pick up the package and, as I came out, I happened to block a car. I ran over immediately and shouted, "Sorry, brother, I'll move the car right away." In a normal situation, this would be a minor issue. I apologized, and generally, people would just complain a little and that would be the end of it. But what surprised me was that the driver's reaction was extremely intense, as if he had a fit of rage. Not only did he shout loudly, but he also made very agitated gestures. For a moment, I was stunned. What was even more ridiculous was that his child was sitting in the car. Looking at the 5 or 6-year-old child, I felt particularly sorry. I was also a bit emotional at the time, but I quickly realized that I must stay calm in such situations, avoid emotional reactions, and protect myself. The hostility in today's society is really strong. We must stay away from people with a bad temper because you never know how much pressure they are under. Your words or actions might trigger an outburst of their emotions onto you. Even if you think it's a small matter, it might be the last straw for them. Many people are facing unemployment, bankruptcy, and other difficulties now, and even a casual action or look might provoke them, leading them to vent their anger on you. Even if you are strong, you might still encounter extreme individuals, leading to unnecessary conflicts. Therefore, everyone should be cautious with their words and actions to avoid unnecessary trouble.
遇到了一件事让我很郁闷。
Today, I encountered something that left me quite distressed. In the morning, I went to the hospital alone. While waiting for my test results, I was sitting on the sofa near the entrance of the hospital lobby, playing on my phone. 2 young guys with backpacks, each holding a small towel in one hand and what they claimed to be shoe cleaning products in the other, walked over with smiles. They didn't say anything and directly squatted in front of me, wanting to clean my shoes. I was very confused at that moment but still maintained basic politeness. I immediately stood up, smiled, and told them, no need. I just cleaned my shoes this morning, and I also have such products at home. Thank you. However, one of them completely ignored what I said and insisted on cleaning my shoes. I continued to refuse, and we went back and forth a few times. Although it appeared we were both polite on the surface, what happened next completely overturned my perception. One of the guys suddenly changed his attitude and yelled at me, "What's with the attitude? We're offering to clean your shoes as a courtesy. We didn't ask you to buy anything, can you even afford it?" At that moment, I really wanted to retaliate but restrained my emotions and turned back to play on my phone, ignoring them. They continued to curse and complain. I know some people might think I'm weak and wonder how they would handle the situation. Honestly, I don't regret not arguing with them. If something had happened, I would have been the one at a disadvantage. The only regret I have is not recording the incident and reporting it to the police. What is going on with people these days? Just a few days ago, I saw that many people appear positive and optimistic on the surface but are actually falling apart inside. Many people are internally very frustrated. Today, I encountered such a situation. If you face this issue, how would you handle and resolve it?
From today on, we must maintain a low profile and avoid flaunting or showing off in front of anyone. This is because society is currently filled with resentment. Although many people appear positive and optimistic on the surface, they are actually burdened with various troubles and pressures. Many have experienced career failures, mortgage defaults, lack of customers in their businesses, or no orders in their companies. People are increasingly feeling repressed, confused, anxious, and depressed. Many people carry heavy resentment. They often have a belly full of grievances and don't know where to vent them. Even a small action or a mere glance can trigger their sensitive nerves, causing them to vent their anger on you. Therefore, try to avoid conflicts with strangers, be courteous while driving, don't cut in line, and avoid smoking in public places. If you accidentally bump into someone, apologize immediately, especially to security guards, service staff, couriers, delivery workers, and ride-hailing drivers. They are often under pressure and are most likely to accumulate resentment. Regardless of the situation, always be polite to them and greet them with a smile, as your unintentional insult could be the last straw that breaks the camel's back. Additionally, don't flaunt your success and wealth, as this can provoke others' jealousy and even lead to ill intentions against you. If you have also been feeling anxious, irritable, and frustrated recently, you must learn to relax. In fact, everyone has a resilient self within them. As long as you don't give up, remain optimistic, cultivate a broad-minded attitude, stay kind, and pursue your dreams, there is no difficulty that cannot be overcome. I hope that after experiencing hardships, we can all still maintain our kindness.